The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha, and welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Coldwell banker Roy and Betty Sakamoto. And today in the studio is Elizabeth Quayle, who's got lots of thoughts. She's been one of the busiest realtors around. She's knocking them dead, and it's really great. And recently she's done a number of deals for people who lost homes, and that's really starting to change lives, and I think it really does help a lot. We're going to talk a little, I think, about, we weren't planning to talk about Lahaina because I feel like it's all we talk about, but we suddenly realized sitting down here that it's still the most important thing to all of us, to everybody, whether you lost a home or you didn't lose a home or whatever else has been happening. What are your thoughts right now? We've just started this as we walked in here, but...
I think, as we had said, everybody loves to be treated with respect and kindness and being a good neighbor.
Absolutely.
And to me, I mean, I've been doing real estate for 44 years. This has been the most impactful event of my entire life. Losing Lahaina was just, you don't get over it. You don't get over it.
No.
So the fact that I've actually been able to help, people who have lost their home find a new home, and, those people who sold the home for the people that lost their home, that gave them also a very, very good sense of help.
Yes, I agree with you. I mean, one of the things we're also seeing as realtors, or it has been happening, properties came on the house kind of at exorbitant amounts. And some of that just doesn't really make sense for anybody. Sometimes somebody does have, at the moment, some unlimited funds, or it seems that way. But again, you just want it to be fair. And I think that's been hard for all of our agents at Coldwell Banker, wanting to do their best to find properties. And I know you've worked really hard at that, trying to come up with places that you can feel proud of for somebody buying and moving into. And it's a job. I mean, it really is a job these days. It's not like it used to be.
Well, our options are very limited.
Absolutely.
On the west side.
Yes.
That being said, the last couple of places that I sold, the folks had been displaced and moved to Coldwell, so the kids couldn't come to karate in West Maui, and just a sense of normalcy.
Yes.
They used to be Lahaina people and love Lahaina, but they were so grateful to be in Napili just because they're back in West Maui.
And that matters, too.
And those are the miracles that can happen from this. God pays attention to everything. You just have to show up. And if you're lucky enough to help somebody, it will help you, because we all, again, are suffering mentally and emotionally from the loss. And it's our job as a community to build each other up and care about each other, because that's going to go a lot further than anger and miscommunication.
Well, there's no question. I mean, I know that everybody is trying, or I hope so, everybody's really trying, to find homes, to do things, but it really couldn't be any more difficult than it is today, because there are so few homes available. And, the whole argument about the visitor accommodations, again, I think that we also need to have people back working. So in order to do that, we need to have our visitors. We need them here being able to find the homes and things that they like to rent when they're here. It's not just about the hotels, and the hotels have also been full of fire victims.
Yeah.
So the properties that are ready right now at Kapalua they're starting to get occupied, and I think there's a limited number, maybe 19 of the 50 are actually occupied, and it could be less than that. But again, it's difficult. They're completely furnished. They will have everything. But, we're learning more and more people are still in accommodations that are being paid for, and so they're not ready to pay any rent. So it's difficult right now. It is really, really difficult. And I'm hoping that that'll change quickly as more and more are actually ready for someone to just step in and live.
Right.
And that's pretty close now, so we'll see how that all goes. We've had people that could have rented one, but for the moment, the homes there are set aside for people that work at the golf course was the first thing, and lost a home, because of the fires. How it could be it burned, it could be all sorts of things.
Yes.
But still, I think that it'd be nice to get people situated, and it's hard. It's just so hard. No matter what anybody does, it feels sometimes like it's just not right. It's not, because nothing's right for everybody.
Well, we can't fix it immediately. We're so accustomed to instant gratification on things, and that's just not going to be the case. This is going to be a work in progress. And again, I think that if we become well-versed and educate ourselves in the situation and engage with kindness and diplomacy and be generous, that we have all this extra time now to be extra kind.
Absolutely.
So
you're right on that. What have you made a number of recent sales? What has been selling?
A good little feel-good story, and I love it. I have two wonderful clients that bought property from me down by Safeway, back behind there, little 600 square foot cottage. And they bought it so that they could put tenants in there. They could walk to town and Mala and all those great places. Well, their insurance only gave them $97,000 as a replacement for the home because it was an old cane house.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to find something where they could maybe do a vacation rental and stay there while they were supervising, rebuilding the place. Consequently, a really dear friend and client of mine, Eric Ramon, had bought a condo from me probably in 2015. Little Napili Ridge studio, floating above the valley with unobstructed views of Molokai and the channel.
That's amazing, isn't it?
So I found them this place. Poor Eric passed away. 56, got ill, died very quickly.
Oh.
His mom and his sisters and his sister are just angels. At any rate, I found this. They bought it sight unseen. But then all of a sudden, the mayor said, no, you may not be able to vacation rent this. So they backed out of the deal because the interest rate was 7.5%. I woke up in the middle of the night remembering that Eric bought this as a veteran, and you can assume a veteran loan once. His loan was at 3%.
Wow.
The buyers came back because even if you can't vacation rent it and you lock it up part of the year, it's never going to change the location and the opportunity. So God gave me these wonderful clients who lost something. They gave me Eric, who we lost. But from those two things, this marriage of the perfect storm. And my client called a couple of days before closing. He's going, I'm not closing. I hate the view. I hate the wonderful manager. I hate walking 2 blocks to Napili Bay. We're done, So God bless them.
Yeah.
Those they're not gigantic big deals, but they are gigantic big deals.
And when you think of those places, you're right. I mean, you can walk to Kapalua. You can walk to Napili. You can walk to the beach. You can walk to tennis. You can walk almost anywhere.
To my house.
And you walk to your house, okay? They can walk to our house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really is something that makes a big difference to people. But it's Napili Ridge. That was originally Napili Sands was the original name of that. It's a sweet little place always.
It's always been affordable housing.
It's always been affordable housing.
Until the peak of the market, when the one-bedrooms were selling for $700,000 and those sold for $75,000, a few years back.
No, it has been really an interesting
market. But those
market.
little nooks and places in West Maui, because There really is no such thing as something affordable. There are people in Waihikulī who lost their homes that had illegal additions, no hanas. And so when the insurance company paid them, they couldn't pay them for something that's not permitted. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these people have these limited funds. Well, you have this limited inventory. Unless you go to Kahului or Wailuku or someplace over here where there's actually inventory, it's very difficult to replace that.
Well, it is, but now they're also saying that you're going to be able to rebuild an ohana on almost any size lot. No, I don't know if that's really going to happen, but I think it really is an interesting statement that you could do that.
I think it's, well, they're talking about two 600 square foot ohanas if the lot's 10,000 square feet or bigger. Yeah. One if the lots are 6,500 square feet, as long as you're allowed to do it. That's awesome. That's exactly what we need.
It is for now. I mean,
because a lot of people have multiple families. Mm-hmm. So those are good things.
Those are mostly good things, and it should be for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to still be interesting what happens for families, what happens for people that just want to move here. And I still think we have a lot of open space, and there should be more low-income housing built, smaller places for people who are moving here temporarily, because that has been, some of the first people I met moving here were people that had come here, had just graduated from school somewhere, college. It could be, we met someone that had just finished medical school that I don't think ever practiced medicine. And that was really quite a story. But, I mean, he came here, he had a great job, he was making a ton of money. At the time, I mean, he was making $200 and $300 a night in tips, which I'm talking almost 50 years ago. And you couldn't make that much money anywhere. And they were doing it, so I still think that'll happen. And it's just a matter of housing. But people will still come here, and then they'll go back. Eventually, in a lot of cases, they will. They will go back to a different life, and maybe 20% stay forever. Maybe 50, I don't know anymore. But it really is different for people.
Well, we're the furthest place on Earth from any other landmass, so it takes a particular person to live somewhere this remote. Thank you, God, I'm one of them, But it is transient, because not everybody can live here. We've always lived with that, and the visitor industry really works well with a transient population because, you can replace a waiter in the landscaping or whatever. The most important thing is we have what makes people want to come here.
I think we do.
It's clean, it's safe, it's warm, and the most important thing about Hawaii is it's America.
Yes, there's no question
I'm
about
from
it.
Buenos Aires. I've lived in Mexico City. This is America. It's safe.
And you are a citizen of the United States now.
I got my citizenship, so I can vote this year.
You can say that. Yes, that'll be great. Speaking of voting, now there is another thing that we were going to chat about a little bit, and it's a hard one this year. I think, we aren't going to say who we're voting for or talk about candidates or anything, but I sure think that everybody this year has to vote. And you've got to remember that. Just get out and vote. Whoever it is that you believe should be the next president is who you vote for. Listen to people that you feel know more than you do about it. Think about it. If you can take time to read, even pull out some of the last newspapers and read what's going on. Turn the television on and listen. And we'll all see different things, because I know there's a difference of opinion in most families.
Yes.
And our family definitely has some differences of opinion. Although Roy and I happen to be on the same page on this year, which is good.
I love you, husband. We are not.
You are not? Okay. That's
But you know what? I actually got my ballot in the mail yesterday. I filled it out. I made sure there's no wrinkles on it, and you can hand deliver it here.
Did you deliver it?
I'm going to on Tuesday.
I want to do that too.
I'm going to hand deliver it. I need to make sure my vote counts, and there's no ifs, ands, or the envelope spent.
No.
Make your vote count.
Make your vote count. Whatever it is, whoever you vote for, just do it, because it's never going to help if you later say, I wanted to vote for so-and-so, and it was so close. If only X number of us had gotten out that day. But let's not let that happen to us. We've got to vote. Don't be the person sitting there thinking, if I had just voted that day, if I had just gotten out. I had my ballot in my hands. They had sent it to me. It was the easiest thing for me to do, but I didn't get out. Don't let that happen.
Well, I always told myself, you have no right to gripe because you're not voting. Mm-hmm. Now I can legally
Well, that's
gripe,
right. Up until now, you couldn't vote.
No.
I forgot about that because I've known you so long and thought of you as a U.S. citizen, and now you are. So it's really great. Good for you.
I'm just normal now.
You're just normal now. She's just a normal U.S. girl.
I'll never be normal. Don't quote normal on me ever.
That's really funny. Going back a little, though, let's say real estate-wise, is there any, like right now, I've usually been involved in Kapalua, although we've pretty much serviced all of West Maui.
Yes.
To a certain extent. And we've done some huge deals, small deals, whatever. But I think, again, right now, people are looking and they're thinking about it. I think the market is going to continue to be a little bit slow.
Yes.
So if somebody's really interested and wants to start looking, give us a call and we'll either be able to help you ourselves. Elizabeth can be reached at 808-276-6061. Okay. And I think that's a good direction to go in. You can stop by the Kapalua office anytime, and we have an agent sitting there 7 days a week, that will be able to help you or will get you someone that will help. If it's kind of if what you're thinking is outside of her actual sphere of influence, it'll be really worth your talking to someone. There might be someone else there in the office if the person isn't familiar with what you'd like to discuss. But again, you could call Roy Sakamoto at 808-870-7060. I could be reached at 808-870-7062. Elizabeth again, 808-276-6061. And that's 3 different people. We might all give you different opinions, but that's okay too.
I'll be right.
Yeah, she'll be right. There's no question about it. But call any of us, and we'll talk about it, because we may not agree with what you want to do, but if it's what you want to do, we're going to help you try to figure it out. And in our office, there's people that, I primarily work West Maui, so I'm not going to go to Wailuku or go to Wailea or go anywhere else. But there are a lot of people in our office that are totally into the rest of the island. We are probably the largest company currently on Maui, and we've got a lot of agents. They live everywhere, and we can help you. So give us a call. We'll direct you with website information, etc., or have you come by and just sit and chat with us.
You know what? I want to give a quick shout out to my grandson and partner in crime, Jacob Pike. He was displaced from the fire. He's still living in North Kihei and trucking to West Maui 6 days a week. We just co-listed a beautiful little studio at the Napili Shores. And so if you want any information on property anywhere in West Maui, feel free to reach out to Jake, me, the King and Queen, Roy and Betty Sakamoto.
No, but Jake, what's Jake? Do you know Jake's number?
808-498-3300.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he is someone that's been in real estate now for a few years.
He got his license when he was 19. He's about to turn 26.
Yeah. So he's been doing it for a while.
Roy and Betty have been very good influence on him, and we just need him back on West Maui. Mm-hmm. Please.
No, it is so hard right now to find anything to rent in West Maui. Yeah. The houses at Kapalua, or the small, tiny homes, are done, and hopefully they'll be totally rented soon. But again, it's all really hard because a lot of people are still tied into FEMA properties, which is great. but it's kind of slowing that down a little bit. And the Kapalua properties are being, are a little bit slower than we thought they would be, but they're still coming up with the furnishings for them. They have everything, which is probably for some people not the good news, but they've got a washer, dryer, every appliance that you want. They're darling. And for a lot of people, it's going to be all West Maui people working at Kapalua, or pretty much. So we should talk about that later.
Yeah.
And see where we're going. It's 12:25, so we're coming to the end of this pretty quickly. Is there any other property that you can think of that we ought to be talking about?
There's something important
Go
that
ahead.
my
Yep.
brain went to. Our karate dojo is the Veterans Hale at the top of Fleming's Road. We've had to train in Kapalua since the fire. We just were able to move back into the Hale. So if you have keikis or you're an adult and you want to start training in martial arts, the kids are from 4 to 5, the adults 5 to 6, $30 a month for 3 times a week. It's just a great thing for families. Walter Chihara, our head sensei, and Dave Barca, my husband, and Mr. Delatorre, our other sensei, Gina Parola, my stepdaughter, and my son-in-law, Clint Parola. They are all black belts, along with my son, Andy Pike. You have people there that have lived here forever, want to help you, help the community. We're so blessed to have that option.
Absolutely. And again, right now, I think we all need something to punch.
Yeah.
That couldn't hurt any. That might feel good. One of the things that we were saying when we first got here, because we didn't drive together, is that all of a sudden in Lahaina, it's like you feel like it should be different. Like it's been over a year that things haven't happened. Honu has opened for food. Mala, right behind Safeway there, are open, which are the first 2 Lahaina restaurants. But when you get past there, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Basically, there's nothing. When you drive in different directions, there's nothing.
No.
So that you feel like it's okay, but it's not okay.
No.
It's not okay. I mean, I said the other day, and I almost took these words back, but I think it's true. I said that I probably won't live to see Lahaina rebuilt. And that really troubles me a lot. I mean, I've been here for really a lifetime.
You better not plan on croaking anytime
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Please. But no, I understand.
It's almost 50 years that I've lived here.
Yeah.
And I want to be here, so we need to make it happen. We need to all work together. Everybody's got to stop arguing. Front Street should be rebuilt. I mean, it's not like we could keep doing this forever because people need jobs. Anyway, we've all got to think about everybody's outlook. It's not just about you. It's about the whole community.
It's a community.
Right, and express your needs and your wants and what you believe in, because it's important. It's important to all of us. But then we've got to settle for what's right and what's good and what will take care of our community. We're now at 12:28 and 14 seconds, something like that anyway. So any other thoughts you've got? We've kind of rambled along. We weren't sure where we were going with this today. We knew it was going to be not quite a real estate day, and we've hit the 1-minute warning.
Ooh.
So I guess let's talk about something that we don't usually talk about. Let's talk about
the surf has been great.
The surf has been great.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about a little bit about religion. Let's talk about Danny Couch, who loves Hawaii. Yes, Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Aloha.
Special magic feeling flows through the air. I feel the happiness and love everywhere.